Today we've got a great malicious compliance story where a Karen demands candy for their kid without knowing how strong the candy is. We'll get into that in a bit, but first, not a defective product? Alrighty, boss. 9 years ago, I used to work at a car parts manufacturing company, and I was making dashboards. We had many sections and dashboard types we made, from analog to hybrid to fully digital ones, and this story takes place while I was stationed at the fully digital dashboards. The process to make a dashboard was very simple, too simple to be honest. Put a PCB into a frame, press a button, wait 2 minutes. Now place the entire frame with the PCB into a different machine, connect the display, press a button, wait 5 minutes. Then move everything to a third machine, check the cover for defects manually, put on the cover, press a button, wait 5 minutes, and finally move the whole dashboard to the checking machine, press start and wait 10 minutes, all the while running from machine to machine for optimal productivity. In 12 hours, you're supposed to make around 500 to 600 dashboards. If you have a good day without any toilet breaks or the machines breaking down, it happened often. So my story takes place while I was working on the cover part of the process. We had a small part of the cover that was made from a see-through piece of plastic that displayed a symbol for oil change, I think, and we needed to check it for any dots or imperfections. Any imperfection equals throw it into a crate and send it to quality control. If they deem it usable, which almost never happened, they send it back and you use it. The one time the leader flagged me down and told me, "Hey, you're gonna get a light at that station so you can see the imperfections better. Anything you find, send it to QC. Leave nothing out." I'm like, great, better work conditions, somewhat. So on I go checking the covers, but there's a problem. Each and every single one of the covers was faulty. They either had dots in them or lines, some were even torn and cracked. So I flagged down my team leader and tell her this. She asked me how many I found in the last hour. I tell her over 50. She looks at me, thinks for a bit and smiles. "Okay, keep doing your job, just make sure we hit our quota for the day." I look at her puzzled for a bit, but then realize what she's planning and smile as well. So I go back and just do my job. In the next few days, crates upon crates upon crates pile up at my station. You can barely get around at this point. So the QC manager comes down because they saw a dip in our productivity. Since the team leader knew that we wouldn't be able to hit our quota for the day, she just told me to do my job. It's not my problem they sent us defective products. QC manager asks, "What the crap is all this?" I just tell him, calm as I can be, that these are all defective products. All of them have either dots in the transparent part or lines going through the entire small window. He's fuming at this point, takes one from the crate, checks it, agrees it looks bad, and takes it to the QC station for checking. A few hours later, he comes back and tells me it's fine, to use them all and not to check for these kinds of defects. I tell him, "But boss, I am supposed to check for this issue. I can't just ignore it when do as I tell you to do, the QC approved it," which almost never happens, "and it's good to use. Don't talk, just work." Now I'm ticked, but that's the kind of work it was. So I just do as he told me to do. I stop checking for any defects. I just get a cover out, plop it onto the frame with the display, push it into the machine and press the button. Our productivity skyrockets. We hit levels never seen before at our station. Even the QC manager congratulates us for increased and record productivity and, "See how easy it was? You just needed to do your job." I'm grinning at this point, both from anger and from anticipation, because I knew that this is going to bite him in the butt eventually. Well, the moment of it biting him in the butt comes around and he's not pleased. Did I mention that we made our dashboards for car manufacturers like Fiat, Volvo, and Kia? Yeah, big shots, especially in my country. So the dashboards were delivered to the customers, and they were very ticked at the quality. As soon as they plugged it in for internal testing, they saw the dots, the lines, the cracks, everything. It was messy. Over 2,000 dashboards were sent back to us, demanding an explanation for this crappy quality and demanding a refund. So obviously the eyes were pointed at the QC, who in turn pointed his glaring eyes at me. He walks down to me and screamed at me, "What the freak was I thinking making such bad products for the sake of productivity?" I just smile and say, "But boss, you told me to ignore these issues. and to just do my job. So I did. He's not pleased but knows he's in a corner, so he had to take the blame for his mistake. All he got was a slap on the wrist. Apparently he's been with the company for a very long time and never had any write-ups. This could have been his first. And I got off scot-free. The company lost well over 5,000 euros because of the defective dashboards. And I got to do the checking again, like I was supposed to. Never had any issues with the company again because I knew how to do my freaking job. The QC avoided me for the rest of my time there, and from what I've heard from a friend who was working there for a bit longer after I left, he was very happy that I'm gone and that jerk is never gonna get a job with his attitude. What a butthat. I love that while OP's off probably doing bigger and better things, that QC is still stuck there doing that subpar job and somehow takes it as a badge of victory that OP moved on. Also, hi, I'm Steven, and if you guys enjoy awesome malicious compliance stories, why not hit those like and subscribe buttons down below? That said, our next story is, boss's girlfriend thinks she knows my job better than I do, so I decide to comply. The customers aren't happy. Let me set the scene for you. So I've been an apprentice at a small bookstore for the past 2 years now, only recently passed my exam to make me a certified bookseller. Before that, due to a very toxic work environment during COVID times, the only other full-time working employee whom I looked up to as a kind of mentor quit barely 4 months after I started my apprenticeship, and I've had to bend over backwards ever since trying to fill the holes that were created when she left. These past 2 years have been interesting, to say the least. Starting with the store itself, it's really cute. The only problem is it is drowning in old books people drop off all the time, and just too much stuff cramped into too little space altogether, resulting in a chaos that makes it very hard to keep everything in check and not lose track of anything. So I've learned to adapt and combat this chaos by keeping lists of basically everything, double checking to make sure everything is in order, etc. This will come in later. Now, as for my ex-colleagues, I'm on pretty good terms with most of them, except for one. Enter my boss's girlfriend. In the beginning, I didn't get why my colleagues didn't like her very much. Now, 2 years later, she's the main reason I'll be leaving this job at the end of September. Because, frankly, I'm fed up. If I put everything that happened in these 2 years into this post, it would be very long, so I'll just cut to the chase. Due to the aforementioned chaos that plagues this store, I double-check everything to avoid mistakes. This includes customer orders. Basically, we get the books, I find out who the book is for, I call the customer to tell them their book is ready to be picked up by them. Sometimes people order more than one book, which is where things can get tricky because not every order arrives at the same time due to an array of factors. Adding to this, we also order used books, which has nothing to do with our computer system, which makes it extra prone to forgetting about something. Because this happens a lot with orders that include more than one book, I just like to take a quick glance at the computer system to make sure nothing's missing from the order before I call. Because in the past 2 years, I've made the experience that people tend to get annoyed after a while if you keep calling them about an incomplete order. So, say you've ordered 5 books, and only 4 arrive, with the next one probably arriving the day after. We'll wait until everything is complete, and then we call. Obviously, there's exceptions, but you catch my drift. Then a few weeks back, the girlfriend noticed I was doing this and started to exclaim her dissatisfaction with the way I was handling the customer orders. She thinks doing this quick extra step costs me valuable time that could be spent elsewhere. I would like to add that she spends a lot of the afternoons in the store online shopping and being on phone calls with her daughter, and is all in all completely unnecessary. I thought that this was, excuse my language, a pretty crap opinion since she rarely ever does the customer calls. I tried to tell her why I personally think this step takes away the risk of confusing and customers getting annoyed. She then proceeded to tell me, well, it doesn't matter what you think, this is our store. This ticked me off because if I weren't there, the store wouldn't be running in the first place. They managed to get almost every other employee to quit with the work environment they've created the past 2 years, and I'm the only one who's in the store every day from 9 to 6. She also made it a point to tell me how she thinks it's rude that I always talk back and always have to have the last word. I took this pretty personally. I just genuinely want to bring good ideas in and make the workflow as smooth as possible. And if someone comes along with a point like this, I feel like I have to make them see my point of view. Anyways, since I won't be in the store much longer and I've run out of craps to give, I've decided to do just as she told me. Now, say you've ordered 5 books from us. 2 arrive on the first day, you get a call from us. You ask, really, all 5 books are there already? I say, oh no, sorry, only 2 arrived today. Then the next day, another 2 arrive. You receive another call from us. Surely we're calling because everything is ready to go now, right? Right? Wrong. You see how this might get annoying after a while? So yeah, I just stopped double checking and everything just kinda went downhill from there. At risk of my seeming unprofessional, but to my great satisfaction, customers are getting more and more irritated with each call where I don't seem to know their entire order, incomplete orders, etc. It would have gotten to this point sooner or later anyways, since I'll be gone with the end of September. It just gives me that little bit of personal satisfaction after 2 years of this insanity. Honestly, if I were in OP's position, I don't know if I'd feel as good as OP clearly does towards the end here. Like, I would be calling these people, knowing that I'm probably inconveniencing them, screwing them over, looking like a doofus. But I mean, it is exactly what you were told to do. Our next story is, I don't think your kid will like my candy, lady, but whatever. Since there's only a week left of summer, I decided to take the kids to the local amusement/water park today. As I've gotten older, the rides have gotten a little tougher on me. In addition, my daughter tends to get motion sick rather easily. I don't like the way motion sickness pills make me feel, so I always take a Ziploc baggie full of ginger candy along to prevent and soothe nausea. Today, I had chewy mango ginger candies, hard plain ginger candies, and hard lemon ginger candies. For those who have never had ginger candy, it is spicy. The lemon ginger is probably the mildest. The plain ginger is just plain hot. The mango ginger are sweet and spicy, but they'll also stick to your teeth like crazy. They're definitely an acquired taste. As we're standing in line for the log ride, I pull out my baggie. I choose a lemon one, as does my son, 13. My daughter, 12, asks for a mango one. While I'm fishing a mango one out, I hear the kid in front of us tell his mom that he, around 7-ish, wants some candy. His mom distractedly says she doesn't have any candy. The boy says, but she does. He turns to me and asks for one. I tell him I don't really think he'd like my candy. By this time, his mom is focused in on the interaction. As the kid starts to whine that, of course he'd like my candy, his mom just huffs and says, you've got a whole baggie, can't you give him just one? Come on, don't be greedy. Oh, you said the magic word there, lady. I say, all right, and dig out a lemon one. I'm not completely heartless. That's when the kid whines that he wants mango. Mango is his favorite. I tell him lemon is better, but he insists on mango. I tell him it's kind of sticky as I hang it over. The kid rips it open, shoves it in his mouth, gets in 3 quick chews while my kids stare at him. Then he actually starts to taste it, and a look of horror comes over his face. He screams and tries to spit it out. He's jumping around, flapping his arms. His mom is panicking and asking what's wrong. He's screaming that it's bad and it's hot and he wants it out. His mom tells him to spit it out. That's when I pipe up with a very helpful, it's really sticky. What's left is probably stuck in his teeth. You'll have to wait for it to melt off if he doesn't want to chew. The mom looks at me in disbelief and a shrug. Then she asks what in the heck I gave her son. Probably should have asked that sooner, lady. I answer, ginger candy. It's good for nausea. I'm pretty sure I'd be dead if looks really could kill. We got to move up in line 2 spaces though because she whisked her kid off to a water fountain. I'd like to think the kid will think twice about demanding things from strangers. Plus, it was entertaining. Overall, the kids and I counted it as a win. I mean, I know you're at a water park. I know the other kids are getting these handed out from this person's Ziploc baggie. But even still, in this day and age, if your kid is looking at somebody else's Ziploc brought-in bag of candy and going, I want one, give one to me, wouldn't you as a parent say, no, I'll get you something later, come on. Don't try to take that person's candy. I don't know, maybe that's too over-worrying. Like all the people who worry about, they're gonna put razor blades in the Halloween candy, which apparently doesn't actually happen at all. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Now, if you want to hear another awesome malicious compliance story, check out that video on the left. Or if you missed my latest video, check out that video on the right. That said, I'll see you all next time with some more stories.